Good evening and welcome to the inaugural Church of England E-Worship Awards. In this show every week we will be celebrating the very best and the very worst of the hastily put together wonderful online services that we have seen. And I shall be doing that with my co-hosts here on Zoom, Father David Harris and Father Sam McNally-Cross. I think we absolutely nailed the start on that. And that's been the thing about how awesome some of the online worship has been, because it's been real, it's been visceral, and it's been a lot of fun. And there's been some horrendous things and there's been some beautiful things. And so in this show, we are going to attempt to have a look at the very best of that and maybe poke some very gentle fun at it. Father David, this was your idea. Why did you want to do this?
Well, I just think it's beautiful how as soon as the pandemic started and as soon as we were put into lockdown, vicars across the country who were not particularly technologically inclined, like me, just kind of tried everything they could to keep links to their flock. I think that was beautiful. And there, as you say, there were a lot of failures, but those are just funny. The spirit behind it is really good.
But that's real. That's real life. The whole point here is that none of this is polished. None of us are TV presenters. None of us are TV producers or have the technical knowledge. And when we first started, you saw you saw people who were clearly very good at it, doing stuff, and then that shifted to everybody having a go. And I've loved that. I've loved everybody having a go.
So we've created these awards. Matthew, tell us why we call them the Fulton Awards.
Well, Fulton Sheen, which I'm sure all of you are fully aware of exactly who Fulton Sheen was and is. He's on his way to sainthood, but he was the first to have televised mass in the US. He was the first tele-evangelist, and he connected with people and taught the faith through whatever medium it was that was working best at the time. And he was absolutely amazing. He brought so many people to faith in the US and around the world. So to name this in honor of nearly Saint Fulton Sheen, I think is as it should be.
So our first award is the Fulton Award for Best Home Chapel. Who gets this award? We've all, every vicar in the country has struggled to make a chapel in their vicarage. Who gets the award for the best chapel?
I've loved the people who've really, you can't tell that they've moved into their studies. And at the start of there, I'm going to share my particular favorite. Let me just pull this up. This is Father Peter Anthony's one of his very first altars.
That was his first one?
I think this is one of the early ones, and you can tell it's a study because the books are there.
I like that. I just got this image now of Father Peter Anthony as soon as the lockdown was announced, running into his church with a wheelbarrow and just putting in as many things as he possibly can. Not the vestments, obviously, because we know he's got shed loads of those in his own house, but everything else has just been chucked into this wheel, just wheeled into the vicarage. It just exploded into this.
You have to admit, he did a beautiful job.
Very good.
It's stunning, although I don't think a wheelbarrow was big enough.
He couldn't quite get a full big six on the coffee table, though, could he? So.
He's an amazing priest and an amazing man, and he really understands how the ascetic connects with people. And so there was no way that his home altar was going to be anything other than beautiful. Although I am slightly disappointed in this photograph because there are no plastic plants. And he's a huge fan of plastic greenery on his altar. Although he's got his relics there, so,
And can you guys tell by the missal what it's opened up to? Is that the Annunciation?
I wouldn't want to make a bet.
I can't quite tell, but I think my favourite thing is that it's clearly sort of the altar and the office clashing, because we have the relics of the great saints on the altar, and just to the right hand side we have the relics of the previous vicars of the Church of England with all the previous Crockfords that are on the
No, I can see.
case.
No, Father, I can see relics of the previous incumbent and the old Church of England. There's definitely some common worship there.
No, I don't think so. Anyway, Peter Anthony gets the award. The first Fulton Award for
I mean, is
best home chapel in England. It's beautiful.
I think it might be worth pointing out at this moment that there's no actual award.
Well, there is. It's virtual.
Ah,
he wouldn't be allowed to go and collect it anyway. So.
He can put it on his website.
I love it. All right, so that is our very first award to Peter Anthony. All right, let's go with something a little bit more serious for our second award. Now, let's pull that up. Our second award goes to, and this is a Fulton for best religion. That's the Reverend Graham Hunter there from St. John's in Hoxton. I seem to have paused it at an unfortunate moment. I think he's dealing with a bogey there.
Or he's enacting the voice of God.
I love what St. John's Hoxton have been doing since the lockdown. Their Sunday worship, they have really figured out the kind of the breadth of the technology, which is unsurprising, I guess. But they've really gone for it. And one of the things I really, really enjoy is this, which is morning prayer. And they're using Zoom to share the desktop and thing, and they're all coming together, and they're all reading different bits of morning prayer.
Welcome you to join in if you're able to, wherever you are, either quietly in your head or out loud with the Psalms or the responses in bold.
And Graham, and every time somebody joins the feed, Graham welcomes them by name, and then reading through the scripture.
Had gone out of the land of Egypt. On that very day, they came into the wilderness of Sinai.
And then afterwards,
quite often Moses must have been really fit, because he was up and down that mountain so many times.
Really serious Bible study every morning for morning prayer. So I absolutely adore what this community are doing every morning, coming together on.
Well done to them.
That's a really good thing, is it? Because I think one of the things that obviously we're all missing, particularly on Sunday mornings, is that we would normally be in our churches gathering with the people that we see every week and through the week and coming together for that celebration. And that obviously can't happen at the moment for very good reasons. And so finding some other way in which to still do the things that are important, to share the word, to still talk about it, to still discuss it, to still have that teaching, that's a really good thing. And yeah, well done. I think that's a great use of the technology to just continue what they would be doing otherwise.
And it's the Sunday stuff has been absolutely brilliant. They were the first people that I saw using Zoom to kind of bring people in live from different places. So they've got their music coming in from one place, they then back to the vicarage, to Graham, and then they're out for the readings on pre-recorded, and it kind of sometimes works and it sometimes doesn't. There we go. Look at that. I just think it's brilliant. And I love it because it goes wrong and it's just not quite there sometimes. But these guys care so much about being in with the people who are missing being together. I think it's absolutely wonderful.
And did I see right at the very beginning of that video, there was a thing about you putting in various different emojis to respond, like a praying hands or an amen thing, just to again to give people, there we are, yeah, to give people a way to say that they're doing what they're doing. So during communion, to remind yourself of how Jesus feeds you spiritually, put the little bread and wine there. Obviously, we know we can't take communion together at the moment, and we can't do things like that through the screen. But to show that there is that connection is it's really good.
I think it's fantastic. And the thing about this was these guys were doing this at the very start. I mean, this was like week one. They were running with this. And it doesn't surprise me about Graham. He's absolutely brilliant. And
Well done to them.
But we talked earlier, Matthew, about what's kind of funny in a way about the evangelicals, who we would have supposed would be really comfortable with the shift to online video. In my experience watching some of them, they really are a little bit, most of them appear quite uncomfortable online.
Yeah, definitely. You wouldn't have thought it was that way round. But the evangelicals who are so confident on stage, so confident in front of their congregation, have by and large been quite uncomfortable in front of the live stream. But the Anglo-Catholics have just loved it. It's just, hello, I'm here, I'm streaming to you, darlings. It's wonderful. They've just absolutely owned it. But I've loved that enthusiasm in all of this, all the way through. That enthusiasm and passion has been clear from everybody. So
the first 2020 Fulton Award for Good Online Religion goes to, what's the name of that evangelical parish?
It's St. John's in Hoxton.
Nice.
And Graham Hunter.
Father Graham, because he'll love that.
Well done to them. Very good indeed. Keep up the good work.
And so our final award this evening, our final virtual award, goes for a little bit of fun. I'm sure we've all seen this tweet.
Questions if you wish to. Don't let our troubles keep us from seeing that Jesus walks right through the middle of it with us. There's a delivery driver and out my window. Hold on just a second. You couldn't make this up, could you? Could you just leave it for me? Thank you very much. Oh, there we are. So number one.
I think my favourite thing about this clip and this vicar, who is amazing, is that he doesn't change his sermon voice. His sermon voice remains throughout the interaction. And so the delivery guy is, please just leave the package on the side when we talk about it.
I think one of the best moments of that is that it's almost like it's been timed, because he says that, and then Jesus just walks through. And he's like, tap 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 tap. Excuse me. It would only be better if it was actually a paper boy bringing the good news.
There have been many of these.
Should we bring up the before we all close? Should we bring up the Fulton Gong, the Fulton Caution Award for bad practice? And this, we're not going to get specific or personal, but we've all noticed certain things that are happening online that reveal something about the life of the Church of England. And I would like to present the first one.
Please do. I'll bring up a visual aid for you, Father. There we go.
What's with the ceramic pottery chalices? Like, I thought we kind of lost those in the 1980s. Every bishop in the Church of England seems to be have a shelf where they haven't opened since 1979, and they're bringing out the pottery.
I thought some of these are quite nice.
No, but they're not even. Sam, is this even canonical? Are we allowed to use these according to canon law?
Oh no, we're not. No, not at all. Afraid not.
But Sam, how can you say no to these beautiful, stunning?
Could you please stop scrolling them? Stop scrolling them.
But look, they're good. But the reason they're being used, of course, is not because they're pottery or because they've been in the back of the cupboard or anything else. It's because they're the only things that are big enough to consecrate an entire bun. You know, an enormous bun that could feed 40,000. And that's been my joy in all of this, is watching bishops pick up enormous pieces of buns, enormous loaves, and be sat so close to the camera that they're really not quite sure where on earth this bun can go, because if they elevate it, it's going to disappear off the... So they're just holding the bun to the camera and not knowing what to do with it. And I've seen more than one bishop die inside as they hold the bread, not knowing what to do.
So the Fulton caution is put away the pottery, bring back the silverware.
Right, and the thing about the silverware is we've got a lot of it. We hide our silver away in the safe. It's all locked away. I mean, for goodness sake, if it's not safe being used on a Sunday for live services, then why else have it?
I think that brings us towards the end of our awards and cautions for this evening. So now it's really over to you. We're just three people who have seen a few things online this week, but there's a lot more of you out there. So if you'd like to nominate somebody for an award for the good things that they're doing, if you've seen something amusing and perhaps you want to nominate yourself for one of your own mistakes this week, then do let us know on Twitter or on Facebook. And next week, we'll see if you are featured in the Fulton Sheen Awards for worship in the Church of England.
I remember, this is good fun. This is not sniping. This is not having a go. This is all good fun.
We don't have any closing music, guys. We forgot about that.
Who said we don't have closing music? I think you will find that I have arranged. Some music.
You have to turn around and walk back into the back. That way, that makes it look really big.
Okay. So this, many people will recognize this, but this is our final music as we head out. See you next week, everybody. Tune in for the Church of England E-Worship Awards. Bye!